making a guacamole, a pico de gallo, and a cheese sauce. So those are the basic ingredients for Tex-Mex. So I have here a pork, ground pork, cilantro. That's one of the essentials for the flavor of Tex-Mex, cilantro. And here I have cumin, one of the spices for the pork. Then we have the nachos. So nachos, this is made. You can usually make this home. Yeah, you can buy if you don't want to make. Pero you can always make this. This is just corn tortilla. So corn flour, water, and egg. Then fry it. That's it. That's the nachos. Right. So first up, we need to have to marinate first your ground pork. So we have cumin, then salt, and pepper. That's it. Then just mix this up. So usually this is the toppings for the nachos. But the spice must be cumin if you're going to make a topping. Or you can use ground beef, ground pork, ground chicken, anything. Right? So while that's marinating, we will make the pico de gallo. So pico de gallo, that's tomatoes, red onion, and lemon. So pico de gallo is a salsa. Right? So we need to make this first because we need to marinate it with acid. Alright? So the flavor will come out. Because lemon and tomatoes, if you combine it, glutamate will come out. So that's the MSG, the glutamate. So you can only get that mushroom and tomatoes, right? That's why you need to steep it with the lemon juice. So just a mince or small dice for pico de gallo. The smaller the better, so you can control the toppings, and the flavor will not be that strong. So just simple salsa, but it packs a punch and it gives the nachos freshness because the spice of cumin is strong. It's too strong, so you need to balance it with acid and the freshness of tomatoes. So just typical mince for onions. It. So when cooking like that, parang isang set, you need to know first which is first, kung ano yung uunahin nyo. Kasi like us here in Beso, we have tasting menu, so that's set. We have 9 course, 7 course, and 5 course. So you need to do what to prep first, what meat will cook the longest. So you need to start it first. If you need marination, you need to start it first. So that's it. So we usually start here at 1 o'clock, but our service is 5, first sitting, because we have a lot of prep to do. So yeah, so onions, tomatoes, just put it here. A little bit of cilantro. So cilantro in Tagalog, wansoy. Wansoy. So salt, pepper, just mix it. Then we need the acid. Just a little bit of acid lang. So the flavor of tomatoes will come out. That's it. Right, so this is your pico de gallo. Right. So while this is marinating, we will now pan fry or cook the pork. So this is just a simple pan fry. Just put a little bit of oil. Then this needs to be toasted talaga when it comes to nachos. So let it sit here while toasting. We will start with the guacamole. Tingnan mo ganito kayo din. Thank you. So for the guac, the most basic ingredients for guacamole is the avocados, ripe as possible, lemon juice, cilantro, and some tomatoes. Basic guac. So Americans love guacamole, but it is influenced by Mexicans. This is a Tex-Mex dish. So you need just to pour here. That's it. And you just need some. Look at the avocado. So, some people ask, do we need to make guacamole na good for 1 week? No. You make it on the dot because it turns brown and stale. So, we don't like that. It gets bitter from time to time. That's why if we're going to use guacamole, we do it on the dot. So, it will be fresh. Right, so for the guac, the reason why we need lemon juice also, so it will not turn brown, guacamole. Because acid prevents oxidation. So while like that, for the potatoes, if it is underwater, just put some acid, it will not oxidize. It will stay that color, stay fresh. So just roughly chop your guac, the avocados. That. Right? So some put cilantro. Right? Then I usually put onions also, so it will have a nice touch. But if you're going to put onions, make sure it's minced. If you want a bit of texture, you can slice it bigger. So this is just all for flavor. Yeah, so for cooking, for French cooking, for American cooking, actually all the cuisines, the base flavor is tomatoes, mushrooms, or celery. Right? You know the Knorr liquid seasoning? It's pure celery. That's celery extract. That's the flavor. Yeah.
So may taste ng ganun.
Yeah. Okay, that's why the flavor of that seasoning is celery. Then the MSG that we use, it's derived from tomatoes. Because you can only get the glutamate. Here, it's tomatoes. So for tomatoes, just roughly chop. Then a little bit of acid also. Again. Then salt. Then just mix this up. So the reason why you need, you need a very ripe avocado because if it is not that ripe, it's hard and it's bitter. So you need very ripe. So just mash it. If you don't want to mash it like that, you can use a blender. It's good. Or a hand mixer. Food processor, that's okay. So the right consistency for guacamole, it must be like a paste. Yeah. So mash it. Me, I just roughly chop tomatoes because I want the texture of tomatoes when it comes to guac. Pero most Americans, they like it pureed. So in a blender. Right, so we're almost finished with the first dish already. Right, so this is the right consistency. It's like a paste or guac, right? You just need to taste it. Salt. Right. Pwede yung kutsara, madami. Taste, you can taste the guac. So you know the flavor. The usual way na ginagawa nila is just putting the nachos first on your desired plate. Then add the cheese. Then let it melt first. Then that's the time you will add the toppings after it is melted. So just crumple it. Yeah, so there. Just let's put the cheese. Right.
Mozzarella.
This is cheddar. Just cheddar. Then just bake it until it is melted. Right? Pwede pa ba? Dito. That's around 5 to 10 minutes. It depends on the cheese kasi. Pero if you have quick melt, that's around 5 minutes. So if you are using sharp cheddar, it's around, usually takes 10 minutes. Benedict. So, Eggs Benedict, it's simple, but it's technical. Right? So, we're going to do a hollandaise sauce, a hollandaise, a poached egg, and a bread. So, a toasted bread, we do have some different influences then. So, we have the pan-seared bread like a loaf, but as here, sa beso, the Spanish way is frying it, deep frying the bread. So, it's called migas, deep fried bread. So, Spanish and European way, we do that way. So, sa American, they just toast it. So, first, we're going to do hollandaise. So, hollandaise is one of the technical things sa culinary because we have different variances. We have a hollandaise method. We have a sabayon. So, that's a French cooking. Yeah. So, for hollandaise, you just need an egg yolk. At least two egg yolk. Right. Then you need again a lemon. Why we put lemon? It's para maging bright. The flavor is bright and refreshing, and it lightens the color of the egg yolk. So it's like you're doing a mayonnaise, but it's not mayonnaise. Gets you?
Is hollandaise still one of the mother sauces?
Yeah, that's one of the mother sauces, hollandaise. Because you can do it and make it a sauce to every other like steaks. So we have different variants of hollandaise. We have béarnaise, we have a sabayon. So usually béarnaise is good for steak, sabayon is good for steak. So you just need hot water, not boiling, because it will cook the egg fast. Magiging scrambled egg, it will turn into scrambled egg. And it must be, the bottom must not be touching the water. So first, the first technique that I usually do for hollandaise, after you put the egg yolk, the lemon, just put salt, I whisk it first here before putting it there. So you need to emulsify the egg. Right, so after it turned like that, we can now put it here. Then whisk, continue whisking. So this is exercise hollandaise because it takes time to work it.
Pwede mo gamit ang hand blender?
Ha?
Hand blender.
For hollandaise, no, kasi you need to build it on top of fire or water. For mayonnaise, you can use hand blender. But for hollandaise, you cannot. Look, oh, it's emulsifying na. It's cooking. That's a good indication. So once it is lighter in color and emulsified, we will put the oil. Pwede pa-assist ako. Ano tayo? So this is just melted butter. Put it slowly now. Then you need to emulsify it. Yeah, so this is a good hollandaise. It's called a ribbon stage if it is dripping like that. So you need to emulsify it fast kasi if you don't emulsify it or whisk it very fast, the butter will break. So mag-oil siya on top. So you don't want that for hollandaise. Right, so that's your basic hollandaise. That's a good sauce. You can use it in every other dishes. Right, so while we'll just put it on the side, we'll now start with the poaching. So poaching is one of the technical ways then for cooking eggs. For chefs, they have different methods like swirling. Me, I don't like it like that. So we just need simmering, not boiling, because it will cook the egg fast. You want the egg yolk to be runny, not hard-boiled for poaching. So we'll just season the water, some salt, and vinegar. So why vinegar? Why we put vinegar in poaching or in poaching egg? Because it contracts the egg white first. It helps with the build and foundation of the egg white. Kaya we put vinegar, we put acid. You can use vinegar, lemon juice, as long as it is acid. You can use it. Right. Next, we'll start with the poaching. For poaching, make sure na you have a canister. You cannot crack the egg here. It will break. The egg yolk will break, so you need a canister like that. Right? And then for poaching, this is now just simmering water. Swirl it very slow. Then just put your egg there. And wait for 4 minutes. Look, oh. That's how vinegar works. It turned white nung pag-drop ng egg. That's the use of vinegar. So it can contract it right away. Right? So it will not cook the egg yolk fully, but the egg white will be cooked right away. So that's the use of vinegar. So yeah, just time it 4 minutes. So while waiting for the poached egg, we just toast our bread. So this is nice toasted bread.
Kadalasan sir sa mga usually egg muffin mga
Uh,
muffin.
for eggs Benedict, the typical bread is the muffin, English muffin. They use that. Pero kasi here sa Philippines, very hard gumagawa ng English muffin kasi bibihira gumagawa.
Chef, yung quantity ng vinegar.
Vinegar is around 2 tablespoons lang. Yeah.
Yung butter na siya.
This is just melted. Melted. Slowly melt lang yung butter. So for flavor, you can play around with this melted butter. Here I put a tarragon. So there's a nice sweet taste.
Tarragon powder lang.
No, a freshly tarragon. So I infuse it with tarragon. So your poached egg is almost cooked na. Yeah, almost. Around 1 to 2 minutes. Just need toasting bread. Pwede palabas natin. Right. Then we'll just pan sear our bacon. So for eggs Benedict, they usually use Canadian bacon or prosciutto for eggs Benedict. Pero we can use bacon lang naman. So just heat it. You don't need it to be crunchy or fully cooked. Just heat it. So the best side for eggs Benedict is potato strings. So para fresh fries. So this is nice and toasted. You can get na the poach. This is a nice poach. Look. This is nice poach. Kasi usually when you swirl it hard, the egg whites break. So naghihiwalay siya from the egg yolk. That's why I only like it slow swirl because it's perfect. Pabilog lang.
Sabay sa pas yung pag-drop ng isang word or powder.
Sabay. Along with the flow. Kasi if counter siya, nagbe-break pa rin eh. So you need to have it sa flow. Alright, it's good. It's good. Alright, so this is nice toasted. So, for typical toast here sa Philippines, they don't want like that. But for European, they like it. The toasted, the better. It's better for them. Yeah. So that's it. So we'll just assemble. You just need to put the bacons on top, or prosciutto, or Canadian ham. But for eggs Benedict, Canadian ham is the best because it has a sweet maple flavor for Canadian ham. So we have potato strings lang. Then we will put the poached egg on top. That. Then we'll put now the Hollandaise on top. You like it that runny. That's the perfect hollandaise. Alright, then we just put the potato fries on the side. Yeah, that's it.
And that's your 395 pesos.
Yeah. So we'll just put some paprika on top. So it has a color. Just smoked paprika. Ah, that's it. That's our first dish.
Wow.
Eggs. This is eggs
Wow.
Benedict.
How much
Great
did
for
it,
breakfast.
chef?
It depends, but for me it's around 300 pesos. The technicality is hard. Eh?
I think that is 395.
Yeah. So that's your eggs Benedict. All our nachos.
Ay, sorry.
Our Tex-Mex. So just put your ground
Galing na yun.
pork, beef on top. You just need to toppings lang. Toppings. Then we have the pico de gallo. Put it on top. If you don't want the cheese melted here, kasi I prefer the cheese melted with the nachos sa oven para every time you get a nacho there's a cheese. Not like the other that they usually do with the cheese sauce. It makes the nachos soggy kasi I don't like that. I don't like cheese sauce. But this is a better version. Right, so after you put the pico de gallo, put our guac. So just put dollops here. Put some dollops. Right. Right, so we'll just get some parsley. Let's have some greens.
Parang gusto mo yung parang gusto mo na kasama mo kami. Hindi kasi parang
Sprinkle it.
busy ka pala, lalaki.
21.
Right, so here's your Tex-Mex nachos. Right, it's good.
Yes, chef.
Staple for American dish, which is a roasted pork chop with apple gravy. So, apple gravy. The gravy is apple juice.
Parang ano,
Yeah.
sa Robidor.
Yeah. So here we have a nice slab of pork chop. Right? A nice slab. So for pork chop, don't order a thin slice. Matigas. It's hard. So at least half an inch to an inch yung kapal niya dapat. So it's like cooking a steak. Right? So just season it salt, pepper, Right. So for if a Michelin star restaurant, if you order a pork chop, it has a bone coming.
Mahaba.
Yeah. Tawag doon is a French pork chop kasi there's a bone coming out. Kasi you need to do a technique, it's called Frenching. You will scrape all the meat para sa bone, para siya naging ganito. Parang lollipop, pero pork chop. Last lang. It's called Frenching, the technique.
Parang bake ng T-bone siya.
Yeah, parang T-bone. Pero here sa Philippines kasi, we don't usually have that sa supermarket. Yeah, we have just a nice pork with bone. Always have a pork chop slice with bone because it's moist and the flavor is there. So I don't recommend using a pork chop boneless. Always have it with bone. So the flavor is there. So this is a usual cook lang, like steak. So we will do a pan sear, then roast it inside the oven. So The doneness for pork chop is usually medium. No, medium. It's we don't do medium rare sa pork chop because there's a bacteria sa pork, not like a steak. So hindi siya nagko-coagulate. So it's much safer if it is medium. And if you eat in a pork chop na it's hard, it's well done. So pork is hard pag well done unless you stew it na for hours. Like humba, di ba? Sobrang malambot. Pero for like this cut, usually medium lang. Right? So,
At yung a little pink, okay pa ba yun siya? May konting pink pag sa may goat.
sa gitna, yeah, that's medium. Pag konting-konting pink. May slight touch ng pink.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for this, I just want lang, may sides lang tayo for the pork chop. So, this is just diced potatoes, pero we will roast it. Right. So, gawin natin sabay-sabay. Pwede mo natin gawin sabay-sabay. Yeah. We will have it sa oven. So for we will start na rin sa apple gravy kasi you need to reduce this, the apple juice. So usually you use around a cup, pero you will reduce it pa to half. So all the sweetness will burn out. Pero you have a nice touch. So it's hot na. Pan-sear the pork. So if you want medium, that's around 8 minutes. Depende sa thickness ng pork. So we will just have some rosemary also. So herbs for pork, the best would be rosemary, thyme. It's good. Tarragon can do. So you just need to sear it first. At least 50% seared on one side, in your other 50. So yeah. So after the one side, just turn it, check it. It must be nice and golden brown. So if it is not, balik mo pa rin sa side na yun. Huwag mo siyang babaliktad, don't turn it if it is not golden brown. So the flavor, nasa side talaga na yun. Right? Let's put some olive oil here. And some salt and pepper. It's a nice size. Roasted potatoes. We'll put some rosemary. And let it sear. Here, it's done na. Then it's aside. Yeah, that's a nice color. That caramelized. So once you turned your pork, you need to glaze it or baste with butter, so it will be moist inside. Yeah, so put some butter, then let's put some garlic. Sorry, press the garlic. Then some rosemary. After ng turn. So after that, so if you're going to do a basting, always make sure the herbs is on top. So it will not burn and the flavor will come down sa middle. So just bake it. Yeah, this is fresh rosemary. So you're going to base it around 2 to 3 minutes. Then we will finish it sa oven for another 3 minutes. So it will be fully cooked.
Ano yung sa gitna ng apple?
This is just apple juice. You need to reduce it
Yun yung,
to half.
yun yung makapal sa gitna. Makakapal siya sa gitna.
Yeah. So the sugar.
Ah, so,
The sugar of the apple juice. So for Americans, they always pair pork chop with apples. So apples works well sa pork. Kahit anong klaseng pork, apples work best. Just basting it. So other chefs, they time it to know the doneness. Some, they just touch it. They will know if it is medium na. You know ba the method? What to feel? So we have rare. So when you have your hand like that, this is the feel of rare. Okay, mid-rare, if you fish it, then feel it. That's the stiffness of mid-rare. Medium. Medium well done. So it's getting harder and harder. So if you want mid-rare, it's here. So if it is like this, then you touch it, same, that's medium well. Alright, we're almost done. Right, so it's done. Then our apple juice is ready. Nag-reduce na siya sa half. Right, so for gravy, we'll just make a nice roux. So you know roux? The flour and butter. So for roux, usually the flour, I want it toasted so it will be fully cooked. Yeah. Pwede pero mga rubber scotch. So you just need to toast your flour. Pwede. Alam mo kayo na sa nito yung show yung chicken stock.
Initin pa yun.
So just toast it. You can turn this off na, the apple juice. So this is nice and reduced na.
Malamig kayo.
Ako lang pwede. So let's toast pa. If it turns light brown, that's a good toasted flour. So when it comes to sauce, it will not taste flour or starchy. Right, so ayan, this is toasted na. So put some butter. So we will make a blonde roux. Just toast it around. Yeah. The roux is good pag if it is bubbles, if it bubbles like that, that's a good roux. And the flour dissolve automatically. Walang lumps. Blonde roux. After that, this is good na. Diba, nag-turn siya ng brown, light golden brown. That's a good indication of a good roux. That's why, diba, the gravy for Americans is brown, pero it's not made from soy sauce. Because they toast the flour like that. They made a really nice blonde roux.
Walang salty and flavor.
Yeah. So this is nice and toasted. So we will now put our apple juice. So just mix it. Kaya palagay yung stock nila. It's nice and brown. Then we'll put some, this is a chicken stock or any kind of stock, vegetable, beef stock, you can use it. Pero here right now I'm be using chicken. So you just need to dissolve all the starch. Right. Yeah, this is good. We'll do now the season, salt, pepper. I usually use kosher because it's lighter. It's not that salty. Kosher salt, it's good. If you don't have kosher salt, you can use sea salt. Yung kahit nabibili nyo sa palengke, that's a good salt. Himalayan, if mayaman ka, mas mahal siya. Pero kosher is good. Yeah, so it's nice and thick. Let's just add a little more. Nice. Nice consistency of the gravy.
Pwede chef, yung wala yung apples, yung gravy, yung chicken diba?
Yeah, you can do naman. Sa chicken stock lang, then butter and roux. That's our usual gravy kasi, di ba? Pero here kasi, the apple blends well with pork. Here, we have here an Iberico pork we use here sa restaurant. That's a neck part, secreto, of the Iberian pig. So it's like the wagyu of pork, kaya we use that. It's nice, fatty. And I pair it also with apples and figs. Okay. That's good. That's the best cook. Thank you, Pwede. So, kaya we use din apple juice instead of lemon. It's acidic din kasi. So it has a nice touch sa meat. Right, so our gravy is good. Yeah, it's good. If you want your sauces to be creamy, finishing it sa butter. So lahat yan nagagamit. I also use that in pastry. I finish my caramels with butter at the end or chocolates. That's a good technique. Yeah, so it's nice and shiny. Pwede ping spoon ulit. Taste it. Taste your gravy para you know the flavor. You have your spoons. Tama naman, di ba? Dapat lagi may pahinga.
Tulad ng
Yeah. So we'll plate na. So I'll just put our roasted potatoes. You can do mashed potatoes. Diba? Nice dollop here of roasted potatoes. Nice dollop. Good potato, good size. Just wipe your excess oil. Then we'll put our roasted pork here. It's a good portion. then we'll just put gravy. European cooking and American cooking, the simple the better. You don't need to complicate things. Unlike sa Korean, they are more flexed. Pag pag sa platings, sa side dishes. Pero for American and European, the simple the better. So just put the gravy on the side. That's a nice touch. It, your roasted pork. People for American cuisine, buffalo wings. Right. So for buffalo wings, they usually use different parts of the wings itself. Pero for New York style or American style, they only use this size, this side of the chicken wing. Ito lang yung ginagamit nila usually. Right? You can have some lollipops. So for buffalo wings, the technique that you need to do para it will be flavorful is brining. So ahead of time, i-ano nyo na yung chicken nyo, prep, then have a brine solution. So brine solution is just pepper, salt, and water. Then you just need to marinate it for at least an hour. So the flavor is inside. So how did I do it like this? Right? Yeah. So tomorrow you will do. This is called Frenching, like this. It's a lollipop. Yeah, it's Frenching. Okay? So first, here's your chicken wing. So tomorrow, ganito yung bibigay ko sa inyo. Then you will do this. Kayo right? So there's a part here. Check this. You need to trim this off. Yeah. Trim. Then we have this side. So yung ginagamit sa New York style is this. For chicken wings. So just get the joint here. There's a joint. Then cut. That's the joint. You just need to cut. Fill the joint here. That's the joint. Then cut. That's it. That's a nice chicken wing. Alright? That's your first part. The next part is the lollipop. So you need to do Frenching method. So you need to pop up the bone. So here's the bone, the major bone. Cut it here. Nice cut, slit. Right? A nice slit. So you just need to scrape alongside the bone. Then cut it here. Scrape the meat. Scrape here. Little by little, you don't want to damage the bone because that's one of your centerpieces when it comes to lollipops. So that's Frenching. Just scrape alongside the bone. Scrape it off. Scrape. Get that. Just need to remove that part. And then scrape it. Like that. That's a French chicken wing, chicken lollipop. So if there's a meat here, you need to remove that also. Nice and French. Right, so top, straight. can also do this sa pork chops, sa lamb, the Frenching technique. And that's nice and clean. Right? You just need to brine it there with your salt and pepper. So, when I prep this is the first one I made. Kasi para, yeah, you have a marinade already. Right. Next. For the breading, you just need a flour. A cup will do. So just season this salt, pepper, and some paprika. Right? Mix it all. Right. So once it's seasoned, just coat your wings. So we'll get a nice piece. We'll use this. You don't need some eggs or just flour will do. Kasi the main flavor for chicken wings is the hot sauce. It's sauce, not the chicken. So you just need it nice and fried. Yan. So isama na natin itong lollipops para madami. Nice and coated. So you don't need to season this heavily because you have a brine. Then there's may sauce pa. So you don't need to season the chicken na. It will become too salty if you season it also. Right, so it's nice and French. Right, so then let's fry this around 12 minutes. Alright. So at least around 150 degrees to 180. Pero usually 180 for fried chicken. So just drop it here. Make sure the bone is out for the pops for 12 minutes. Then chicken meat. So that's for 12 minutes. So for our batter, the flour, you can add a little bit of cornstarch para crunchy in texture. You can add a little bit of baking soda also if you want for crunchy texture for chicken. Right. So while that's frying, we'll do the buffalo sauce. Right. So the basic buffalo sauce is just a hot sauce and butter. That's it. So the taste varies. It depends of the quality of the hot sauce and the butter. So the more flavorful the butter is, the much tastier buffalo is. So that's it. That's your usual buffalo sauce. So you just need to melt some butter.
Hindi pwedeng margarine to.
Margarine will do, but it's not that flavorful. Much recommended is the butter. Why? Because butter has milk solids. It makes the sauce creamier and tastier. Margarine is made from vegetable extract, so there's no dairy. Butter is from dairy, right? So that's the difference between the two, kaya mura yung margarine. So yung mga scrap ng vegetable, they extract it, the oil, then make it to margarine. However, the butter is from heavy cream, no whip, then That's it. That's the butter. So once it's melted, just season this with salt, pepper, and usually I put honey so it has a nice sweet touch to contract the spiciness of the hot sauce. I use honey, you can use brown sugar, you can use molasses, but honey works. Just a tablespoon of honey. So you just need to incorporate the sauce. Yeah, once it's incorporated, you just need to put your hot sauce. You can make your own hot sauce. You can buy one from the market. That will work. But for Buffalo's, for New Yorkers, the restaurant that serve buffalo wings, they make their own hot sauce. Because that's their competition, pasarapan siya ng hot sauce. Yes, so just put it here. A good amount of hot sauce.
Better than Tabasco.
Pwedeng Tabasco, that's better, Tabasco. You can use his.
Tabasco,
Sriracha will do. Gochujang will do. Gochujang, pwede. Yeah. Togarashi, you can use it also. Yeah, so just need to emulsify the sauce. Right, that's a good buffalo sauce. Yeah, so once it's incorporated, that's it. That's your basic buffalo sauce. We'll check the chicken. Yeah. This is around 3 to 5 minutes. So for the chicken, the usual cook, if it is deep frying, it's 12 minutes. That's the standard. You want it nice and moist. So when chicken becomes dry, it's overcooked na. Yung mahirap lunukin, that's overcooked. So you just need it nice and moist for the chicken. Right. It's good. So another sauce for buffalo is a sour cream, creme fraiche. Yeah. So usually, I just do sour cream. So just a tablespoon. Then I put a heavy cream. Just a nice tablespoon also. That's it. Then just put some herbs, parsley, a little bit of basil. Just need to slice it. Season this with salt and pepper. And just mix. It's a good buffalo sauce. If you want to have much more flavor, you can add garlic. So it will become a ranch. That's good. So this creme fraiche is nice and good also. Taste your creme fraiche. So for buffalo wings, I don't put the sauce all the way because I want it to be crunchy pa rin if you're eating it. So one of the techniques that I use is just brush outside, right? So you just get still hot.
Parang hindi mababad.
Yeah, so just brush. You don't need to douse it with sauce. Nice, shiny. Yeah, and it becomes soggy. Yeah, that's good. Oh. Follow. Just brush. You don't need to douse it with sauce.
Yung iba sir, binababad talaga.
Yeah, I don't like it. You want a nice crunchy texture if you're eating buffalo.
Puro sauce na lang yung chef, eh, pag nababad.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it's soggy and it becomes dry, so you don't like that. A good chicken is a crispy chicken, not a soggy chicken. Tama ba? Yeah, it's not that spicy pag ano. Pero that's why you have also a creme fraiche to contradict the spiciness.
Reset mo na yung birthday ng anak mo.
Yeah.
Reset ba? Okay.
Meron akong complimentary kasi
It's nice and coated.
dapat meron.
Oh.
Ayun na.
Alright, let's
plate.
Binub ko siya.
So we'll just put our creme fraiche. We'll just put our nice chicken lollipop. Yeah, that's a good, nice chicken lollipop. We'll also put lagi lang side of the wings. Just a nice plate.
Ano gagawin ko kaagad? Pa-import
Mamaya.
siya.
Nice. Right.